Luton in white shirts. Arsenal in their traditional red shirts with the white sleeves. One of the substitutes, and away we go with Luton attacking the goal to our right. As I said, both sides struggling a little bit for form lately. Luton with just one win in their last 5. Arsenal, the holders, with only 2 wins in their last 9. There's Harford's head. Here's Ricky Hill and Tim Breacker. Steve Foster for Luton, darting it forward towards the head of Harford. Luton's throw. Ricky Hill will take it. He said to me on Friday, yes, it's a bit of a gamble, I know, him playing me, but I'm a gambling man. Groves versus Donaghy. Rocastle. And Preece unable to get a hold of it. Johnson just tucking it forward. But now Nigel Winterburn came off. Kingsley back for the Arsenal throw. Winterburn taking it. In goes Donaghy first. Thomas. Rob Johnson. Winterburn. To get it through to Perry Groves. Donaghy gets it forward to Harford. The little touch by him for Hill. But Tony Adams was onto him quickly. Foster. And Sansom. To the Arsenal skipper. Davis. Rocastle. Caesar. Lift it forward there for Alan Smith. Groves. And Dibble will be grateful for the first touch. Had a very nervous opening, did Dibble, in that FA semi-final against Wimbledon, but brought off some great saves in the first half. After that, Sansom. Davis. Arsenal moving with a lot of comfort and composure at the moment. Danny Wilson. And appear at the moment to have settled just a little better. David Pleat?
Yes, I think the early moments are important to whoever gets the initiative, and I think Arsenal, particularly from Sansom and Winterburn's situation, will want to push on quickly and test the defensive instincts of the likes of Ricky Hill and Kingsley Black.
There's a good shot by Smith and well held by Andy Dibble, and bought from Cardiff City. Smith. Harford versus Adams. It hit Adams. Foul on Paul Davis there by Danny Wilson. Arsenal's free kick. Caesar. Just a little bit of question mark about Gus Caesar. I think probably because O'Leary's form over the years has been so good for Arsenal. People suggesting that Harford might get some profit from Gus Caesar this afternoon. Rocastle. The little ball played in there by Rocastle for Groves. Davis. Some space here for Sansom. Arsenal continuing to press in these opening minutes. Sansom again. Wilson. Breacker. Preece. Donaghy. Some good passing here by Luton Town. Very fluent indeed, and a long ball forward for Harford to chase, but there are 2 Arsenal players there. Winterburn gets it back to John Lukić. 5 minutes gone if you've just joined us. No score yet in this Littlewoods Cup final between Arsenal and Luton. Breaker's header. Brian Stein. Preece. Harford. Pulling back a little deeper. Stein. Preece again. Hill. Delightful stuff here by Luton. Some nice first-time passing. Hill. Wilson. But coming to nothing.
At the moment, there's a wind, certainly in Arsenal's favour, downwind. And it's important for Luton to get the ball on the deck and play early passing against this wind, and that's what they've just done splendidly.
So it's an Arsenal throw. Record in the Littlewoods Cup this season, Arsenal. They've scored 15 goals, conceded 1, and won all 7 outright of the games they've played. Winterburn with the throw, and Foster getting up. The whistle gone for handball. Free kick to Luton. George Graham with his hand to his mouth there. Theo Foley, voluble Irishman there, who's such a good foil for George Graham. They've been together, of course, before, both at Millwall and Queen's Park Rangers. Another free kick to Arsenal. Sansom almost lazily forward with that left foot. Foster versus Alan Smith.
I think Arsenal used the long throw to try and get an advantage this afternoon. Both fullbacks, Sansom and Winterburn, throw right into the box, and they'll try and use the height of Adams.
Well, to that effect, Adams is on the edge of the Luton box right now. And there he is jumping for it, but Foster had spotted that. Preece. And again Arsenal through Davis and then through Rocastle. The ball now for Thomas. Dibble's gone out. The cross comes in, and Rob Johnson, as cool as you like. The first real scare, that one for Luton. And once Dibble had failed to get that ball, they could have been in the most serious trouble. A delightful ball played by Rocastle. There goes Dibble. Michael Thomas there looking up, but look at the coolness there of Rob Johnson. Flag up for offside. Ray Harford was saying that David Rocastle is the man that he's most nervous of. Such a talented player on the right side of the midfield. And to that effect, he put Rob Johnson in as the left back rather than Ashley Grimes, a better marker and tackler, he thought. And Johnson showed commendable coolness there, but he was beaten by Rocastle there. But Kingsley Black doing a good job covering up for Luton. There goes Foster. Donaghy and Foster. There are fewer better central defending combinations in the First Division than Donaghy and Foster. Foster is also the player coach, as well as the captain. Before Foster, and here's Breacker. Stein, Hill, Harford, Foster, and off Caesar, Donaghy, Johnson. Sansom. Adams. Richardson. Tony Adams again. Ball on there, straight to Danny Wilson. He is falling out of the spot. Richardson. Groves. That's a foul.
I don't think Foster will like to get drawn too much to the flanks this afternoon. He'd like to be in the centre where that old headband of his. He's had it the same one for 5 years, you know, Brian. It's a bit of a secret. There's a magnet in it.
Well, they might need it now because Richardson will hoist one high towards Smith and Adams up there. James is in there too. And Harford right back to help out. It's a good header there by the big forward. Danny Wilson finding Brian Stein, who's not really had a run at the ball, and now Kingsley Black coming into the game on this side of the field, finding Stein. Richardson after him, and the flag was up, whether for a free kick for the foul or whether it's a throw. For a while we're going to have two brothers here on the Luton side. Brian Stein here, the elder of the two. He's 30, his 22-year-old brother Mark is one of the subs. Right, Tim Breacker then with the long free kick. Lukić, well, he was beaten in the air, and there was an infringement. He's 30, his 22-year-old brother Mark is one of the subs. Right, Tim Breacker then with the long free kick. Lukić. Well, he was beaten in the air, and there was an infringement. Just see, no, it doesn't look as though there was an infringement. No, a goal kick. Harford, in fact, winning it cleanly in the air against Lukić, and had that looped into the goal, Luton would have been ahead. Foster versus Smith. Foster wins it in the air. Rocastle for Arsenal. Nodded on towards Perry Groves. Foster's there again and again. Stein, a nice little header there. And Luton suddenly have got 4 up, and Arsenal only have 3 back. Here's Ricky Hill. Played quickly for Danny Wilson. He's gone past Sansom. The cross comes into Brian Stein. Looking to get something on the turn. Kingsley Black couldn't either. And Thomas gets it away, but then it hits Rocastle and falls for Harford. Preece trying to dink it in, and it comes to Rob Johnson. The best little spell though for Luton so far, with 13 minutes of the game gone, 0-0. And a free kick for Luton.
I think Harford's header there against Lukić was important psychologically, and they'll be thrusting balls into that area because Harford is not only brave, he's a magnificent jumper, and they'll be very wary of him, particularly if he can pull away to the back post against the smaller Arsenal fullbacks.
Which is what he's done just now. Thomas has gone there to watch him. Harford getting in on this one. Foster's in there too. There's a chance for Luton. Stein has scored. With 13 and a half minutes gone, and Brian Stein with his 17th of the season, played in by Preece. Foster was in there, important touch by him, and suddenly he's a good finisher, Brian Stein, and proved it there again at Wembley to put Luton ahead.
And it was Harford that forced the issue. There's 3 men jumping with him, and then Foster's nicked it through, and maybe Caesar's looking for the offside decision.
Always has been a good finisher.
Yes, he sidesfoot it, he passes it into the net like the great Greavesy.
Well, is Wembley going to continue its reputation as being of late a place for the underdogs? Arsenal were last season against Liverpool and they won it. Coventry were against Spurs in the FA Cup and they won it. And certainly little second division Reading were in the Simod Cup here against Luton and they won it. Now Luton are ahead, but for how long? Thomas is offside. Brian Stein has certainly scored some important goals. He scored in both legs of the Littlewoods Cup semi-final against Oxford United. An absolute stunner at the Manor Ground up in Oxford. And an important first goal in the second leg as well. Harford banging in on that one against Tony Adams. Quarter of an hour gone. Luton Town leading by a goal to nil. Brian Stein the scorer. Breacker, Hill, shaken off it quite easily there by Groves. Breacker again. Goes Adams beating Stein in the air. Paul Davis trying to get the ball through for Rocastle, and Dibble there right on the edge of his box.
They'll have to be awfully alert, Dibble, because Luton are playing a tight back line there, and Arsenal will try and nick the balls over the top, and he's got to be really bright on the edge of his box.
Arsenal's ball. Adams. Poor ball. Well, Ray Harford, the Luton manager, saw his side go ahead against Wimbledon in the semi-final of the FA Cup, but they just couldn't hang on to that lead. Let's see what they can do today. Hill. Stein took a bit of a knock there and is hobbling just at the moment. Fans have been stunned into almost a silent Wembley appearance. David Pleat.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Brian Stein playing slightly more forward than normal, with his brother going out of the side, and Brian normally plays in the hole behind his brother and Harford, and because today he's playing more up front.
Here come Arsenal again. Richardson with a shot charged away by Breacker. Sansom. Davis. Smith finding Davis. Breacker going in rashly there, conceding the free kick. Let's see what Arsenal can come up with here. Rocastle thought for a moment was going to be behind it, but it looks as though it'll be the responsibility of Paul Davis.
A very similar position, Brian, to last year's goal against Liverpool.
Two elbows going into that wall as well. Winterburn shot, beautifully saved by Dibble. Struck beautifully there by the fullback. He's only ever scored one goal for Arsenal. Mind you, that was an important one. The winner in the quarter-final of this competition against Sheffield Wednesday, but he hit that with tremendous power. And that'll do Andy Dibble's confidence a bit of good too. Preece. Chip there towards Stein. Touchdown by him towards Ricky Hill. He gets it back to Kingsley Black.
Hill's breaking forward very well, and he's influential in the early stages of the game. How long his legs will last, it'll be interesting to see, but they desperately needed that early goal to give them the confidence, particularly with players such as Preece and Ricky Hill and Kingsley Black not having played any first-team football recently.
Foster up again well. Hill again. One for Stein to chase, but it's Lukić's ball. Richardson for Smith. Looked like a handball. Play on. It was accidental, said the referee. Sansom playing it early. Danny Wilson getting it away. Luton leading by a goal to nil. Donaghy miscuing, doesn't happen often. Richardson trying to get in, and Donaghy making up for that slight blemish. In that long Arsenal throw, because Adams has gone forward. Well, there you are, we've improved on the game, but Tony Adams is up there. Sansom hoisting a long one towards the far post. Up goes Tony Adams, and then Rocastle. Stein trying to work it away, then gets tripped, and Luton get a free kick. Preece and Winterburn. He just joined us, the Luton goal scorer Brian Stein, and the Luton player down at the moment.
David Preece took a crack there. It was with Thomas, and he seemed to have caught it on his forehead.
In the meantime, Danny Wilson for Luton Town. An awful bit of play by him, Kingsley Black. Thomas is after him. Just got it through to Brian Stein. Now for Ricky Hill. Preece is still down and has hardly moved. Now Harford. Warming Ashley Grimes up on the other side. And yes, I think Joe Worrell has got to hold things up while Dave Galley comes on to give some attention to David Preece.
I'm sure that Joe Worrell would probably have allowed the physio on just a little bit quicker if he knew it was a head injury there, because there was a little bit of scrappy play going on, and it's always dangerous if someone takes a crack on the head to delay proceedings.
Now there's the 30-year-old Luton substitute, Ashley Grimes. A little unlucky in a way, Ashley Grimes. I'd have thought to have missed out on this one. He played such a big part in the semi-final with a splendid free kick goal and made another one.
I think you'd feel very confident that he'll get a crack today, Brian. I think that if Luton can sustain the win, towards the end they're going to have to pack the forces, and Ashley's new legs would be invaluable.
He's quite a crack on the head he's had, quite obviously. And seems okay. In the meantime, it's a free kick for Arsenal, which Gus Caesar will take. Hit high towards Dibble. Thought for one moment he'd come a little bit too far underneath it. Needed to backpedal under pressure from Perry Groves. Stein's goal separating the sides with 23 minutes of the first half gone. Actually, Brian Stein, I'm told, very often has a little gamble on score of the first goal, and normally bets on himself. I think the figures were something like 8 to 1 for the first goal scorer, so he might well have picked up an extra little bonus today. Donaghy on Groves. Free kick to Arsenal.
There'll certainly be no one trying harder than Brian Stein. Brian, he's played in on 2 losing 6 rounds, 2 losing semis, and so it would be great for him, and he's in his testimonial year this year.
Rocastle's cross. Breacker bringing it away. Healthy thump forward towards Harford, but met by the head of Tony Adams. It's a very sunny afternoon, difficult for all the defenders at that end of the field, as Tony Adams was demonstrating. Breacker, his form's been a bit wavery lately. I thought he had a pretty ordinary game in the semi-final against Wimbledon. He's doing all that's required in this one. Danny Wilson missing out there. Getting back, finding Donaghy.
Arsenal is still to settle into any real rhythm. They're trying to force the issue, but they haven't really got the passing going yet, and that'll concern George. 25 minutes gone.
Donaghy. Pushes Groves. Extraordinary ball. Played it straight to Black. Adams. Towards Harford. Harford won that in the air above Adams, but Hill couldn't profit from it, and it's an Arsenal throw. Seeing that Arsenal can't get a passing pattern going at the moment, neither can Luton, David, and it's falling a little bit below par just at the moment. Except with Luton, the underdogs, leading by a goal to nil, it remains an afternoon full of great possibilities. Donaghy. Stein. And the foul by Caesar. Actually, that didn't look too much of a foul to me.
No, I think it was Stein's subtle slide of foot there that deceived Caesar, rather than something that was premeditated.
It's a Luton free kick.
The one good thing about Joe Worrell, he'll have a quiet word with the players, but he rarely gets his book out, and he's an excellent referee.
Preece behind this one. Good left foot. Harford and Foster up there. And it's Big Foster that he's aimed for. And he was backing in on Adams. Foster beating Groves. Thomas. Richardson. And the corner given to Arsenal. The very first corner of the game. Paul Davis will take it for Arsenal. Again, Gus Caesar forward and Tony Adams. Harford's come back almost onto the goal line to mark Adams. Very much of a view for Andy Dibble. Davis curls this one in. There's the big goalkeeper. Formerly of Cardiff City.
Luton did very well at that corner. They left Kingsley back and marked Stein up, which forced another Arsenal defender to sit. And had Dibble realised it a little bit quicker, an early ball might have put Luton way into the Arsenal half.
Harford up there. Contrasting the way these sides have been able to prepare. Arsenal with that break in Spain, haven't had a game for 9 days. Luton played in the Football League Centenary here last Saturday and had a 2-1 victory against Preece Park Rangers on Tuesday night. Psychologically, that was probably very important for them because their form had been really dodgy up to that point. And here they are leading with half an hour gone by a goal to nil. Brian Stein the scorer. Donaghy Wilson. Winterburn. Groves is after it. Johnson gets it back. A walking miracle, Rob Johnson, as you well know, of course, David, as a former Luton manager, with the most terrible knee injuries. They virtually had to rebuild one of his knees, is that right?
Yeah, but his character has overridden all his problems, and he's a tremendous little defender. That summed him up there. You know, he saw Merson's break, Groves' break, and he was very quick on the cover. Good attitude, first-class professional, solid as a rock.
Adams. Just under a quarter now of the first half remaining, and Arsenal have had so much of the game territorially, but really have had so little to show for it. Have been almost permanently screwed to the left, watching the action, and not so much to the right. Here we go again as Adams finds Rocastle. Good break by Winterburn, and Foster's there in the nick of time, defending extremely well. A valuable interception there by the Luton Town captain after a good break and a tremendous run forward by Nigel Winterburn, but very nearly paid off for Arsenal. Goal kick.
Arsenal have obviously suggested that they must break as much as possible down that left side. Preece hasn't played much football recently. Johnson is playing left back, whereas he hasn't been a left back recently. Grimes has been playing there, and young Kingsley Black's come in. So Arsenal with Winterburn and Rocastle will try and stretch them down that side.
Dibble with the kick. Up goes Caesar. Richardson. Smith is after it. Foster there first. 500 League and Cup games, but not really very good Wembley memories. He was here with Brighton when they were beaten 4 by Manchester United. He was here with Luton just a few weeks back when they were beaten 4 by Reading, but his side are leading a goal to nil at the moment. And here's Caesar. You get the impression that people like Foster and Donaghy are going to be the real cornerstone of anything that happens for Luton this afternoon. Arsenal continue to press as this cross comes in, and Dibble was positive because Foster held back for a moment, and that could have been a very dangerous cross indeed. But Dibble's done everything that's been asked of him so far. In for the injured Les Seeley.
And he got that little pat on the head there from Foster as he got up, old headband. They'll look after him.
Charged away, it'll be a Luton throw. About 12 minutes to half time. Rob Johnson. Here come Arsenal again with Sansom. Davis. Breacker lost it for a moment. Will he get it back? No, but Donaghy was in quickly enough. Stein hustled off the ball by Sansom unfairly. Free kick to Luton. Donaghy just opening it through there, inviting Breacker to make his run. Put through there by Stein. Here's Wilson. Roll back to Hill. Wilson. Hill on the floor, still getting it to Breacker. Wilson again. A claim handball, it was accidental play on, said the referee. Foster will get it back. Oh, is there going to be any room to spare? Dibble had to make emergency action. His concentration went just for a moment there, Foster. There was a lazy back pass. He's put Arsenal in possession here now. Donaghy whacking it away.
There's some laziness and some carelessness in the game, Brian. And there's a lot of hustling in the midfield. I think Arsenal desperately need some width on the left-hand side to try and get round the back.
Sansom's throw to Alan Smith. And Tony Adams with it. Little flick by him to Richardson. And now for Michael Thomas. Breacker is in, the corner's given. Harford goes back to help out with the defending. Probably on the near post at the moment. Now Harford's gone there for Luton. Richardson with the corner, floated towards the near post. Hill couldn't get up to it. And it came off Rob Johnson for another Arsenal corner. 9 minutes of the first half left. Luton leading by a goal to 0. Richardson with Arsenal's corner. Floated again there. Up goes Rob Johnson and Foster gets it away. Helped on by Preece. Thomas again for Arsenal. And suddenly Luton have the possibility of a break here. David Preece with Black outside him. Stein through the middle. Still with River Preece. Switching it wide here to Ricky Hill. Played in by him with a header. And up goes Lukić under pressure from Mick Harford. Richardson now for Arsenal. Smith, Kevin Richardson. Donaghy for Luton. It's Davis. Sansom. A push by Thomas on Wilson. And a free kick to Luton.
Luton outnumbered the Arsenal defenders on that previous attack, and I'm sure that if Hill could have directed the header across the goal more, Harford might have done something crucial.
Rocastle. Thomas. Caesar. No, that won't do Arsenal's cause any good. A throw to Luton. Hill to take it. 13 seasons had at Luton. Breacker. Stein. Hill. Breacker. Crosses there towards Mick Harford. Winterburn gets it away. Luton's throw. That's for their longest period in the Arsenal half. This first 45 minutes. Stein. Kingsley Black, the 19-year-old. There's a good cross coming in. It might come to Harford. Hill only just got the touch on it. Preece couldn't get a proper right foot shot in, and Richardson can bring it away now for Arsenal. And he's already tasted Wembley success here for Everton. In this 84 Cup final against Watford. Kevin Richardson. He was down for a moment, up and limping, but he's all right again now, I think. And a free kick given against Breacker for the foul on Arsenal's Perry Groves. With 6 minutes of the first half left. Towards Smith on the far side, Dibble.
That was the first time that Kingsley Black had an opportunity to get a decisive cross in, and I'm sure Luton will regret a shade that they haven't been able to feed him enough of the ball, because he is talented on the ball. He can deceive people and get those vital crosses in, which Harford would thrive on.
And Harford himself, I think, says that he loves it when Black is in the side, because he does provide just that surface. There for Harford, going inside towards Preece, but it will give Arsenal a chance of building up again. On board by Thomas, going easily through to Dibble.
I think George Graham will be pleased to get to half-time to settle Arsenal down, maybe make one or two little tactical changes, but at the moment they certainly haven't found any keys to unlock the Luton defence, and there's been no subtle passing in the last third of the field.
Goes Rob Johnson, beats Rocastle in the air. Throw given Arsenal's way. Rocastle. Thomas. Adams, brought down by Preece, free kick. Arsenal wanting to get on with it, was taken so quickly. Groves, and the feet of Thomas a little high there on Rob Johnson. He says he prefers playing right back to left back, but he's done a pretty good solid job down that flank against Rocastle, just what his manager Ray Harford ordered. Beating Richardson. Breacker trying to get Harford away. A nice little piece of play by him. And Stein was fouled by Adams. It'll be a free kick to Luton. Breaker, or is it Wilson? It's going to be Danny Wilson. Trying to hit Foster with it. 2 minutes to the interval now. Paul Davis could have been getting himself into trouble, but in the end releases a fine ball for Winterburn on the far side. But Donaghy there sticking close to Groves. Rocastle. Davis. There's space for Sansom. Hooked in there and goes behind for the goal kick from the head of Paul Davis. Very positive, getting through the challenge of Harford to get there for that one. Rob Johnson getting it away. Too high that time for Adams. Stein caught in the midriff by the boot of Caesar. And it'll be a free kick to Luton Town. Danny Wilson will take it. Such a responsibility on that number 7, when you consider that Preece and Hill in the midfield are desperately short of match fitness. At least you would imagine they were. But so much will depend upon Danny Wilson's lively character. Big player up through the lower divisions with clubs like Chesterfield. He had a spell with Nottingham Forest and then with Brighton. Stein. Harford. Okay. added on. 4 stoppages at the end of the first half. You're summing up of the first half, David Pleat?
Well, I think Luton have done exceptionally well. They've taken the one chance that's come to them brilliantly. They look a threat when they do get balls into the box. I think that Foster and Donaghy have been the real pillar of strength for them. They've handled it capably. It's about partnerships. They've played together for a very long time now. They know each other's game, whereas Caesar and Adams slightly untried. Adams has had O'Leary as his guardian for some while now. I think at the moment, as I say, Luton will be very much happier. Apart from the 1 goal, they will feel that Arsenal haven't contributed too much to breaking them down and making chances.
Well, the last seconds of the first half now. We just had the injury to David Preece, and Joe Worrell just adding on the best part of a minute for that now. Luton's free kick. Now Donaghy will take it. Towards Brian Stein. There goes the half-time whistle, and certainly so far after 45 minutes, all the gambles that Ray Harford, the Luton manager, has had to take over the last few days are paying off. Brian Stein's goal after 13 minutes is what separates the two sides, but certainly Hill and Preece have done enough in midfield. Young Kingsley back has shown 1 or 2 moments down the flank, and Dibble has done well for Ray Harford here as the Luton Town goalkeeper. So far, so good then for the underdogs, but you fancy there's a lot more football left in this Littlewoods Cup final yet. In a moment we'll get the views of Ian St John, but now we take a short break.
There was no foul there. That was a good header, nice clean header, and just went over the top. And that was a threat to them then. You know, the Arsenal must have thought, hey, you know, this big fella. And you see Caesar playing alongside Adams. That combination doesn't seem to me to be too secure.
Do you feel at the other end that Andy Dibble is showing the right sort of authority?
Well, I'm delighted for him because, you know, he's come into this game today. He made a couple of very good early saves, didn't he? Made a couple of very good early saves. And, you know, he hasn't done anything wrong. Hasn't done anything wrong at all, so I'm delighted for him.
David Pleat made the point before the match that he felt an early goal for Luton would actually make it a better game and give them a better chance of settling. Well,
that's right, and the thing about the goal that I felt when I saw it from up here in the gantry, I thought, oh, he's offside. Then maybe we can see it again here, Elton, I don't know. When the ball was played in, up the goal, I think that was big Harford in there. Big Fozzie got a little knock on, and he's onside, you can see there. Brian Stein coming into the picture, top left. And he come in from an onside position when Foster played it, and that was lovely, just a little side footer in the corner.
I think Greavesy might have been proud of the finish.
Well, that's right. I mean, we always relate to Jimmy when we see goals taken like that, because I mean, he used to always do that, just slot them in.
This is the opposite angle, of course.
That's the opposite angle, and Big Fozzie, lovely little delicate touch. Big Foster's got a nice touch for the centre half, you know. I mean, a lot of people think I'm just a big straightforward up and down centre half, but I've known him since he was a boy, and he can play football all right. He's got a nice touch.
Now, one of your duties this afternoon is to select the man of the match. Who's ahead at the halfway?
Well, it's always difficult. But I would say that the defenders of Luton are playing well. The 4 across the back are playing very well, and the goalkeeper, you know, and I would say Donaghy, Foster, you know, any of those 4 at the moment across the back could do the business. Foster actually got one tremendous interception in the game. That was the goalkeeper coming out actually and getting that one just ahead of Big Foster. That wasn't actually what I was talking about, but nice to see, as I say, Dibble being very positive. And
yes, that was our deliberate mistake of the day, but it was just to show Ian that he's involved at both ends of the pitch, isn't he? So his contribution overall to Luton's cause this afternoon.
Big Fozzie, certainly, and you know, he's an inspiration. He's you know, a skipper that leads by example, and I think Arsenal feel that they can knock balls through and catch them with pace. Up to the moment, they haven't done that. So they'll have to be a little bit more positive, Arsenal, in the second half.
All right, well, we'll see if Luton have got the legs to survive. All these players who've had so little match practice in recent weeks, we'll find that out in the second half. But for now, we're going to take a short break. Good Jim Rosenthal.
Darren, a pretty good first half from Luton's point of view.
Yes, from Luton's point of view, it is a very good first half. We got the goal which we needed, like after about 10 minutes, I think it was. Settled down into our game, and I think we played quite well, actually.
Graham, you must be disappointed that Arsenal haven't really put their game together, haven't really put Luton under any genuine pressure.
Well, we've only had one shot, Nigel Winterburn, from the free kick. We're not getting enough crosses in of quality, you know, they're all from 30, 40 yards out. we've got to get behind them and get their defence turned.
You sat in the odd Arsenal dressing room in your time. What will George Graham have been drumming home to them at half-time?
Well, get at them and show them what you can really do. You know, that's a big thing. We haven't played how we can play. That's a disappointment to us.
And Darren, what about from the Luton point of view, finally, what would Ray Harford's message have been in there to them, do you think?
I think it'll be to keep playing a bit long to start with first 5 minutes, and then I think we should start playing our game again by knocking the ball around like we did 10 minutes in the first half.
Thanks very much, gents. Let's rejoin Brian Moore.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Here we go then. At the start of the second half, Luton leading this Littlewoods Cup final by a goal to nil. Arsenal about to kick off. They'll now, of course, be attacking a goal to our right. Brian Stein, the scorer for Luton after 13 minutes. Graham was saying in the week that the one thing that really bothered him was the inconsistent form that Arsenal have been showing lately. They've been good one day and poor the next. Reminding you that they've won only 2 of their last 9. And certainly it was one of their poorer days in the first half in terms of what they were able to achieve when really they'd had so much of the ball. This is Kingsley back. Certainly has shown no qualms about being put into a Wembley occasion at the age of 19. Wins a free kick. And you poor though Arsenal have been, you get the impression that they have one of those Liverpool qualities about them that you never write them off. There are qualities about them, as indeed David Preece is well aware as manager of Spurs last season when they were behind for so long in those semi-final matches in this Littlewoods Cup and eventually came out and won it. Preece, Davis, Rocastle, Thomas. Now he's a man who could make a difference if he'd make a few more forward runs. You agree with that Arsenal quality though, David?
Yeah, they've got great resilience. I think all big sides have. I mean, they're very strong physically. They'll keep going for 90 minutes in this game. They'll keep throwing balls into the box, and eventually they have to believe, they stay optimistic that they'll get a break.
Winterburn. Donaghy showing first. They got for an offside against Harford. Adams. Somebody from midfield to come a little closer, so he swings it wide towards Richardson on the far side. He's beaten away by Ricky Hill. Here's Brian Stein. Wilson. Pull on the far side. Kicked in nicely. Played it for Stein. Harford's waiting in the middle. He'll wait in vain because Michael Thomas is there for Arsenal. And again. Donaghy up, well above Rocastle. Hill once more. Richardson's forward and Foster's back. Ahead of Adams. It'll recover quickly. Needed to with Nick Harford around.
I think the pure physical presence of Harford has unsettled and Adams and Caesar a little bit this afternoon.
Sansom. Foster away. Wilson. Couldn't get Stein away. That's another go though. Breacker. Harford chasing this time. Caesar's the only one back. Harford going on. And Winterburn gets it back to Lukić.
The only significant change I can see at the moment in the Arsenal setup is that Richardson looks to be playing a little bit wider, Brian. But otherwise, so far, nothing else.
Caesar. Trying to get Smith away. Went through that challenge well enough. Found Preece. He's got Black outside him. He's got Ricky Hill, Brian Stein and Mick Harford forward. And here's Kingsley Black. Next to go on the outside, which is crossed in! And Harford was in there. enjoys doing that, whipping on the outside. An excellent crossover ball, combines well with Harford. And Harford just wide of the mark under pressure from Sansom. David Pleat?
Yeah, Kingsley's not got explosive pace, but he's got this ability to manoeuvre an angle to get the cross in, and Harford thrives on those type of crosses.
Caesar under pressure from Harford, and Harford's got away from him. Brian Stein's waiting in the middle. Can Harford get to that one? Crossed in by him. Brilliant piece of goalkeeping by Lukić from the header from Brian Stein, and Luton within a whisker of being two ahead. Tremendous piece of goalkeeping there by Lukić. That 6-foot frame of his stretched to the very last inch. And Luton win their first corner of the game. Fabulous piece of goalkeeping.
Fantastic save and fantastic bit of attacking play, and I think that will lift the whole game.
Alright, here we go with a corner for Luton. Up goes Harford again. And Ricky Hill into the side netting. And Arsenal just for that moment back on their heels. And Luton looking diligently for the comfort of and the cushion of a second goal. A tremendous piece of goalkeeping by big John Lukić. There's Preece. Winterburn. Sansom back. Brian Stein so close to his second goal. Luton still leading by a goal to nil. Foster versus Smith. It's certainly worth looking at again because it was a lovely little piece of play there in the first place by Black. A good header there, and then flicked it onto the post from Lukić. Richardson. Now, what sort of reply do we get from Arsenal? Now by Breacker on Groves, free kick to Arsenal. Chance for them to lift one high and test the abilities once again of Donaghy and Foster. Richardson with the free kick for Arsenal. Adams has gone forward as well. Well taken out of the air there by Dibble. So in the space of a couple of minutes, both these huge goalkeepers using their height to very good effect. At the other end of the field there, Lukić, as you can see, 100% concentration. And he'll get there first, will he? No, he got there first, but he was trying a little dribble around Brian Stein. Luton's throw. A really lively start to the second half then, with 8 minutes of it gone, and Luton still leading by a goal to nil. Johnson with a header. There's Harford ducking in once more, but this time Caesar can measure up the pass forward. It's a long, hopeful one. Foster getting it back. Such experience. 30 years old, Steve Foster. So too is Mal Donaghy. Harford, I don't know whether he did get the header down, but it fell for Stein. Bringing Black into it again. This is where so much of the trouble can come from, but that time Winterburn kept him out. Looks up, he'll see Johnson, and here he is. Johnson's crossed this time, but this time it was Harford struggling to get his head up under pressure from Tony Adams. Goal kick.
I don't think there's any question about it. Ray Harford has suggested that Kingsley Black must have a little bit of the ball to give him confidence. He likes working the ball, he needs the ball, and at the moment Luton's strength in this half has come down this flank with good early balls in. And all of a sudden Luton have the ascendancy in territorial play for the first time.
Two managers in picture there. Wilson takes it up again. Free kick. Foster's gone forward for this. Third pass now for Danny Wilson. Bringing Breacker into it on the far side. Cross to Ricky Hill. found it out. So Breacker will have to try again. Deep across this time. Tony Adams meeting that one for Arsenal. There's Preece. And here's Winterburn. Foster wanting to stop him get forward, but Winterburn stopped in the end by Breacker. Season he's had an earlier spell of 19 games with only 1 goal in it, Alan Smith, and he's in fact only had 1 in the last 9 as well. Really started the season in a very free-scoring mood. Formerly Leicester City, of course. There by Lukić. Oh, and Winterburn stumbles and Black goes on, played there. No, not a good ball. He tried to curl that into the path of Harford, but he showed too much of it to Lukić. And a lot of promising things for Luton are coming down this left flank now from 19-year-old Kingsley Black. Here he is again. Here he is again. This time persuading Johnson to make a little break for him. Now Preece. There's Kingsley back again. He was a Luton fan, used to stand on the terraces at Kenilworth Road. Modelled himself, he says, on David Moss. He was a good winger there for Luton, and his heroes were Brian Stein and Ricky Hill, and here he is playing at Wembley with them.
I can't help feeling, Brian, that Arsenal might have to send on someone with a bit of thrust, maybe a Hayes to go wide and to try and get round the outside, because at the moment Rocastle's being forced in the inside to defend against Luton's better touch play, and Richardson also is now come in field. So they haven't really got the width to supply Groves or Smith.
Sansom getting in there, but Ricky Hill got there first. Here's Sansom. Rocastle. Harford took a knock there a moment ago. Here's Davis now for Arsenal. Stopped by Donaghy. And a nice little bit of play there involving Ricky Hill and Danny Wilson, finding Black. Foul on him by Sansom, or rather Preece. Foul on him by Sansom.
I think Ricky Hill so far has been magnificent. He hasn't had a lot of match play, but he's playing the ball with maximum efficiency. He's just touching it off to other people. He's not wasting any energy, running with the ball and making it difficult for himself. And he's making Luton play the early stuff in midfield, and it's good to see.
I mentioned a moment ago that Mick Harford had taken a knock, and in fact it's he who's getting treatment now. Ricky Hill, he's had 1 Wembley appearance here when he played for England back in 1982 against West Germany. Well, there's Martin Hayes. The feeling is that David Fleet feels at any rate that he might well be on very shortly. A man, in fact, who was their top scorer last season with 24 goals, 12 of those from the penalty spot. And young Mark Stein warming up, the 22-year-old brother of the man who scored the only goal so far. Cap came on as a sub against Israel, and he's okay to go on as Rob Johnson takes a free kick for Luton Town. Hit towards Harford, but he really couldn't get off the ground. He's in a bit of trouble in Harford. We're coming up to the quarter of an hour mark in this second half. Half an hour to go, and Luton still leading by a goal to nil. Sansom, Smith, Breacker, Rocastle, Richardson, goes Smith. It's Preece who got it away. Rocastle, a nice turn. Preece trying to get in there. There was a foul by Rocastle. And Harford, in fact, limping off the field on the other side now. And Martin Hayes coming on for Arsenal. And they're going to take off Perry Groves. See how they're going to work that out now. Hayes will come over onto this left side. I'm just wondering what Kevin Richardson's part's going to be now. And will it be a straight swap, do you think?
No, I think Hayes will run free up front, and I think we'll play Rocastle wider on the right, more as an orthodox outside right. But I would have, you know, it must have been a difficult one for George. I would feel, you know, two lots of pace. Hayes and Groves might have been a winner, but we've got 30 minutes to find out.
Meanwhile, Mick Harford is still off the field, and Luton at the moment playing with 10 men as Rocastle comes forward. And here's Hayes getting his first touch. He's gone past Foster. Gets it to Smith. And now Rocastle. Richardson on the far side. Good cross in by him. Foster there again. Davis hitting it first time. And no, it doesn't go out of play. Smith with a header. Beautifully saved by Dibble. The flag was up, was it?
Yes, an offside decision has been given. And I'm sure Smith would be relieved at that, because in actual fact I think he picked the wrong option there, and I think across the goal once again was the better opportunity for Arsenal.
Harford back on the field again. Luton back to full strength, but he's given a goal kick. So maybe he overruled the linesman. Anyway, it was an excellent piece of goalkeeping going there. Good reactions there by Andy Dibble. And Luton still cling to this one-goal lead. Adams. Smith. Davis, offside this time against Hayes. Free kick to Luton. Crucial time this for Luton, really, with players like Preece and Hill who are short of match fitness. It's now that it really will begin to tell.
I think so, but they've held on and done so well that will give them an extra yard anyway. That will give them a lift. If they were behind, it would be even more difficult for Hill and for Preece.
Foster after this one. Turns it for Breacker. We hear from the other side that Mick Harford turned an ankle, but the physio, Dave Gallier, said, I think you can go on, and Mick is more than happy to do that.
I think Mark Stein could well be brought into the fray, Brian.
Away by Kingsley back. Well, there you are. Ricky Hill away. Sansom playing it in. Oof. I think Tony Adams realised that the ball was there, and it was clear for him for just a moment. Winterburn playing it wide. Good spell this for Arsenal. Richardson trying to get it crossed. The flag is up and the ball is out of play. And you're quite right, David. Mark Stein is coming on. And Mick Harford is coming off. So although the physio may have felt that it was right for Mick Harford to go on, Mick obviously felt otherwise. And little Mark Stein comes on, 22 years old. He was really upset when he was left out of the side yesterday. There was newspaper talk this morning that he walked out on the camp and went back to his parents' home last night. Ray Harford, the manager, didn't want to talk about that, but he's back here as a sub, and now he's playing. And he's had quite a good record, 12 goals this season, and here he is now, looking to make another one, or score it himself, and the chance was certainly there. Well, he's the smallest man on the field at 5'3", but he could have been a really big man for Luton in that moment. His first touch, this.
It's very clever mark, and he can do clever little things with the ball, but there's always been a slight doubt about his finishing. But he'll be bright now, and the more Arsenal push forward, the more he'll get into the space behind Arsenal's defence. So it might work to Luton's advantage.
Two brothers then, Mark and Brian Stein up front for Luton Town as Kevin Richardson. Foster away. Luton still leading by 1-0, 25 minutes left. Gus Caesar for Arsenal. Donaghy diving in low and bravely there against Martin Hayes. It's Luton's throw. Rocastle trying all the tricks to get a yard on Black and succeeds in finding Hayes. Might go anywhere, but Foster, eye on the ball, gets it away. Stein versus Caesar. Winkled away there by Black, and a very good ball by him, but Adams is there. Very nearly falling into the path of Mark Stein. A splendid ball by young Kingsley Black, though, full of possibilities.
I think we're going to have a terrific last 20 minutes or so now, because Arsenal always have got the chance of getting caught on the break, and I feel that the Arsenal players now are really making the fitness tell, and they're really beginning to play like the Arsenal power that they can.
Yes, to be fair, it's not been a classic as yet, but if you just come in from your Sunday afternoon walk, or the park, or the garden, or whatever, I think it might well be worth sticking with this one now, with halfway through the second half, Luton leading by 1-0. But Arsenal powering forward again. Rocastle. Winterburn. Smashed it straight at Preece. It's an Arsenal throw. Pressure remains on Luton, clinging to this 1-goal lead. Winterburn with a long throw. Adams has stayed back this time, but Smith is in there. Caesar with the shot, about 30 yards wide. And Mick Harford already getting the treatment. Just to assume that's the ankle of Mick Harford. Indeed it is. So we've got a few games to play this season, Luton. This is Dibble with the goal kick. Caesar up well. Breacker. Stein hadn't come back. Mark Stein, that is, hadn't come back quickly enough. Free kick. Sansom taking it. Johnson.
Thomas is making far more forward runs now, and he's getting beyond Preece and making that extra man into the box. And obviously Arsenal's policy is still going to be to get crosses in as much as possible and hope for the knockdowns. But I think Caesar's limping also, Brian, and I think that might be a little bit of a problem to Arsenal, because they have no defender on the bench.
Well, the only other substitute still usable is Niall Quinn, the big front man. Foster. Wilson. Brian Stein. Black couldn't quite keep it under control. As the ball comes through to Martin Hayes again for Arsenal. Donaghy's after him. Hayes has shaken him off. Here's Thomas. And the flag is up. The ball had gone out of play before Alan Smith had headed it back.
Luton have to keep the shape at the back, and provided they do and the full-backs don't venture forward, which they won't, then maybe Dibble, Foster and Donaghy can compete with the area of confrontation offered by Arsenal. But I think they're going to be bombarded.
I think it's going to be a nerve-wracking last 20 minutes now. Smith. Rocastle. Gone past Preece. Well, he didn't get past Preece. I suppose that's the point. It's a free kick. So the ball got past, but not the player. Niall Quinn warming up. Maybe just as a precaution in case there is a problem with Rocastle. I suppose if it stays this way much longer, he might be tempted to throw 6'4" striker in to add a little bit more power up front, David.
Yes, but it would only lead to more frenetic play and more crosses into the box, and you know they're unable to prize Luton out of position, and that's what they need to do at the moment. And I feel they would be better off getting extra width on the outside. Rocastle was more influential, certainly, I think, wider, and he's beginning to play a little bit now.
There he is, recovered from that knock. Free kick to Arsenal. 35 yards out. Paul Davis behind it. Little chip by him. Foster with the header. Can't go anywhere. Oh, Preece has made it 1-1. That becomes an inspired substitution. And the goal that Arsenal had threatened for much of this second half has finally arrived.
Well, it came that way, didn't it, Brian? It was a pure scramble. I mean, they tried to claim that Foster was holding. It looked like almost an amateurish free kick, lofted up into the 6-yard box, loads of bodies, and then a ricochet that fell kindly for Arsenal. But there it is now. We have a wonderful game on our hands. Wonderful game.
1-1 the score. Maybe the balance has swung Arsenal's way. Although on the break you get the feeling that Luton can be just as devastating. Johnson with the throw for Luton. And Johnson again, but a foul and a free kick to Arsenal.
Luton just will have to hope that the Harford substitution won't be a bad omen. He went off in the semi-final against Everton 2 years ago, and it helped Everton to win that game.
Breacker gets it away. Mark Stein. Flag up on this side for an offside against Alan Smith. Support from Black. He's gone round him and gets a corner off Tony Adams. Foster's forward. Back with the corner for Luton, high towards Stein. This is Preece. Swept wide again. What a good ball, picking out Black. Trying to get round Richardson. There's his cross. It's a good one towards Stein again. Foster's in there too. And Arsenal belted away with Kenny Sansom. But Johnson now feeds Black again. There's that cross coming in once more. Lukić is there. Under pressure from Brian Stein and a free kick to Arsenal. 1-1. 16 minutes of normal time left.
It's lovely to see how young Black's taken the pressure of this game. He's a very mature boy. I always thought he was an introvert, and I doubted whether he would have enough authority to make a player. But John Moore was a tremendous influence on him and persisted, and in the end he persuaded us to sign him.
Thomas, and now Smith, the great chance now! He's put it into the back of the net, and Arsenal are in the lead! Until today, all that's forgiven now as Alan Smith brings Arsenal from behind into a leading position with this goal here, driven with great force with the right foot, past Andy Dibble.
It was excellently taken, but there must have been a question mark there from that angle. It looked as though he'd gone far too wide, the first touch. Maybe not, but Luton just had to overcover there, and they're succumbing to the pressure. The fitness, I think, is telling.
Well, we said he thought it might be a crucial area now for Luton, with 2 or 3 of their players lacking match fitness, and Wembley is always the place that finds that out. But here's Kingsley Black, there's the cross coming in, it's Adams who got it away, it's come as far as Preece, he's played it now for Ricky Hill. Breacker.
Terrible dilemma now for Ray Harford, sorry Brian, with minutes remaining, going 2-1 down, having used his forward sub, Mark Stein, and knowing that we played so well and gone behind for a little spell, and fitness fading. There's very little Ray Harford can do. I think he's done magnificent to select this team.
There's certainly so many that say a lot of it was forced on him by the injury to Darren McDonough, but a lot would applaud the inclusion of a young, genuine, orthodox winger in Kingsley Black. Inside the last quarter of an hour.
Arsenal, of course, now can slow it down and play at their pace, and of course the great resilience of their spirit over the last few years in cup-tie football has once again come through it, Brian.
Ashley Grimes stripping off to come on. His orders from Ray Harford.
Who do you think's coming off, Brian?
Why put me on the spot? Why didn't you tell me?
I think young Preece in midfield, the left midfield player. I think he's done terrific. But I think
towards Smith. No, good grief. Even again, no. Well, from about a yard out, Martin Hayes actually hit the post. After Dibble again had saved well, and Arsenal so close to going 3-1 into the lead. Good reaction save there, came off the post, and Martin Hayes hitting the post from a yard's range, and the ball eventually going behind for the corner. You're quite right, David Preece has gone off, and Ashley Grimes comes on.
That was a marvellous save by Dibble.
Adams. Brilliant save by Dibble. Again from Martin Hayes from no more than a yard's range. Tremendous reactions, and Arsenal absolutely rampant at the moment. 2-1 up, and looking now to make this Liverpool's Cup final absolutely safe.
For the first time in the game, Foster's so busy organising that he's losing his men in the box.
Well, Davis with the corner. Foster lost his man there as well. Smith trying to get it on the turn. Rocastle, just wide, goal kick. Ray Harford off the bench there, trying to get a few things organised, particularly in that Luton defence, and he's done a terrific job there, following you, David Cleat, and John Moore, of course. But it'll be sad because they're a great club, Luton, a splendid club that everybody enjoys watching. But it looks as though their season might end up with nothing at the moment, when it seemed so full of possibilities when they were through to the Simod Cup final, into the semi-finals of the FA Cup final, and the final of this one. They might have nothing to show for it.
And Paul Ray's giving instructions on the line there, and he must feel terribly isolated, because I don't honestly feel that from 25 yards distance it's very difficult to get instructions through.
Theo Foley's trying, George Graham also. Desperate moments for a manager these, whether you're winning and hanging on, whether you're losing and looking to put it right.
I think at times, Brian, we try and influence ourselves sitting there, that we're doing our jobs. There's very little we can do. Theo's almost having a heart attack there at the moment. (2-1), 10 minutes left. Onside, Smith's on his way. This could make it safe for Arsenal. Saved by Dibble. Rocastle. Penalty given as Rocastle is brought down. Arsenal get a penalty. Well, Michael Thomas has been taking them for much of this season, but Nigel Winterburn, who's only ever scored once for Arsenal, and that's in the quarter-finals against Sheffield Wednesday. And with Martin Hayes also, who's taken a lot of penalties last season. Curious decision, this. Well, let's see. Winterburn. Saved superbly by Dibble. Genuinely good goalkeeping save there. Studiously placed towards the corner by Winterburn. A spectacular leap and save by Andy Dibble, and a corner for Arsenal. 8 minutes left. Brian Stein getting back there to get it away. Rocastle for Arsenal. Turning on the power now. Another cross coming in over the top, and it'll be a goal kick. David? Well, dare I say, Brian, that I thought it was a harsh decision in the first place. Dibble got down awfully well. That was the clincher. Luton is still in the game, but of course Arsenal are rampant now because they feel so confident that it's taken them a long time to get going, and then they've had the breaks at the vital time. But at least it's turned out into a very good second half.
Costa. Winterburn. Gets it back. Caesar. Oh, he stumbled. Can Black get in there? Stein! Stein! And it's in there! I think it was Danny Wilson who got the last touch, and Luton are back at 2-2. He wants to, and he's made sure that we have to believe it. Kingsley Black, after Caesar had fallen, a little touch there to Brian Stein. The first one is charged down. Stein gets another touch, and in the end it's Danny Wilson who tucks it in to make it 2-2.
Well, Luton have never given up. They've lost Harford and they've kept at it, and they've got a break, and you may say they deserve the break, and now at least once again Arsenal have got to come and show their skill. I think Hayes' pace has been influential in the last 15 minutes. He's been getting beyond the Luton back four easier than Groves did earlier. I think it's been a very good substitution by George Graham.
Ricky Hill. Well, it was certainly no great shakes as a cup final for the first 45 minutes, but it's more than made up for that now in this second half. You would hardly have given a price for Luton when they went 2-1 down, when Alan Smith went through with just the goalkeeper to beat. And then they got a penalty which Dibble saved brilliantly. And Luton have weathered all that and now get themselves a free kick where they can put some more pressure on Arsenal. And who knows? Foster's gone forward. The man with the splendid left boots, Ashley Grimes, is behind it, although maybe Rob Johnson will fancy he should be taking it. Grimes then, floated towards Foster, a bit too high for him. Ricky Hill trying to get in there. And Arsenal at full stretch getting that one away. And away goes Thomas. Such power in that stride, and a lovely ball for Rocastle. Stopped by Donaghy. Here's Mark Stein. His brother just inside him. 5 minutes left of normal time. 2-2 the score. Extra time is beckoning.
The fitness angle will be even more important now, Brian, if it goes to extra time. Preece did his job, he was substituted. They've got no cards left to play at Luton. And Arsenal have one, of course.
Smith gets up, but Dibble saves. Winterburn. Hayes is after this one, but it comes through to Dibble. Yes, there was an obstruction by Foster on Martin Hayes, spotted by referee Joe Worrell, providing Arsenal with the free kick.
Can't help feeling in the first half Luton played with a deeper defence and therefore didn't have the space, Arsenal, to outrun them behind them. And this half have pushed up a little bit in search of the game and they've left more space and they've become more vulnerable.
Let's see how vulnerable they are then from this free kick. Paul Davis with a little chip trying to find Alan Smith, but Donaghy with a header gets it away to Danny Wilson, the man who scored that second goal for Luton. Here's Mark Stein, played in for Ricky Hill, but Stein had stopped running. Shoved off it by Kevin Richardson. Michael Thomas finding Rocastle. Here comes David Rocastle. Little touch by him. Comes through for Thomas again. Well wide. I can fancy the task of Ian St John, who's got to pick the man of the match now. Incidentally, the Littlewood Store man of the match gets a Rose Bowl and £1,000 to the club's nominated charity. Arsenal's is the Paul O'Gorman Leukemia Fund and Luton's the Friends of Hospitals of Luton and Dunstable. So apart from enjoying good afternoon's football now, some worthy charity is going to come up trumps at the end of the afternoon. Here's Breacker. Now Davis. Donaghy. Oh, just enough.
The ball hasn't run on fast today, Brian. It's looked like a holding pick. So there's that early back pass of Foster. There's been one or two other occasions, and that was one.
Here's Kingsley Black. To Brian Stein. To Ricky Hill. Now to Ashley Grimes. Get on after that one, he says. A beautifully weighted ball there for Black. And a lovely cross in. Adams put it away at the second attempt. Some good play by him. Black playing it in once more. This time there was an offside, I suspect, against Brian Stein. And the score remains at 2-2 as we come towards the last minute now of normal time.
It also must be quite warm down there. We've had a lovely day, blue skies. Although there's been a freshening wind, you don't get that down in the bowl.
Rocastle, Donaghy. Foul by Alan Smith on Donaghy. Breaker. Stein. This is Mark Stein. Oh, that's a foul. Tony Adams. Free kick to Luton. They want Vic Foster to go forward for this, and he is. Terrific influence on this game today, and who knows, he might yet have the last word. Word there with Ashley Grimes about how the free kick should be taken, and Ray Harford gets back to the bench.
I think Ray'd like to take it for him, Brian.
The chip in there by Danny Wilson. Now Grimes. Kick to the outside, there's Stein! And Luton are ahead in the very last minute. It'll take a monumental effort now by Arsenal to get back on level terms, and the underdogs look as though they are going to have the last word. What an amazing cup final this is turning out to be. You would hardly have given Luton a price 10 minutes ago, and now suddenly they've gone back level, and now Brian Stein has made it 3-2.
Yes, it was Brian, and it was a superb ball from Ashley Grimes, outside of his left foot, clever ball, and I think overall it's about right.
You might be a little biased, former Luton manager.
I hope I haven't shown that too much, Brian. It's been a good second half. It's finished.
It's finished, and Luton have won their first major trophy. They've tried for so long since they were formed back in 1897, and they're all over the pitch. There's a whole heap of them, as Ray Harford, their manager, comes to shake hands with his player coach and skipper Steve Foster, and who would have believed it? No wonder he's got a hug for Andy Dibble, man who saved a penalty, and Arsenal will be kicking themselves because they played poorly for so long, and then suddenly when they got the breaks, they should have ripped it away from Luton's grasp. And Brian Stein, with those 2 goals, the last one in the very last minute, made sure that the cup goes to Bedfordshire. Well, a lot of neutrals will be delighted for this man. A good, honest, pleasant manager, and they'll commiserate with George Graham, but they say, well, George, you won it last year, and really you had your chances to win it this year as well. In the end, it came to nothing. Arsenal players just standing on the pitch, not knowing what to do with themselves. I mean, they must have been rehearsing their victory speeches 10 minutes ago. And when you think of the chances having gone 2-1 up, when Alan Smith was through and was foiled by the keeping of Andy Dibble, and then the penalty came, and Andy Dibble again came to Luton's rescue. Fantastic performance by the underdogs.